Isaac Komnenos or Comnenus ruled Cyprus from 1184 to 1191, before Richard the Lionheart, King of England, conquered the island during the Third Crusade. Family. At the death of Byzantine Emperor John II Komnenos in 1143, the throne passed not to his third and oldest living son, Isaac Komnenos, but his youngest son, Manuel I Komnenos, who successfully claimed the throne. Isaac nevertheless served amiably as Sebastocrator, and his first wife Theodora Carmatirina bore him a daughter, Irene Comnena, and other children. Irene Comnena married an unnamed Docus Carmatiris and gave birth to Isaac Komnenos, a minor member of the Comnenos family, circa 1155. One should not confuse Isaac with the Byzantine Emperor Isaac I Komnenos, an uncle of Alexios I Komnenos and great-uncle of John II. Ancestors' life. Byzantine historian Nyctas Choniates provides most of the following account of his life. He was the son of an unnamed Docus Carmatiris who married Irene Comnena, daughter of Isaac Komnenos, governor and prison. Isaac Komnenos married an Armenian princess on Cyprus. Emperor Manuel I Komnenos made Isaac governor of Isauria and the town of Tarsus, where he started a war against the Armenian kingdom of Cilicia, soldiers of which captured him. As Emperor Manuel died in 1180, seemingly nobody greatly cared about the fate of Isaac, whose long imprisonment seemingly failed to improve his general disposition. On account of his Armenian royal wife, he perhaps endured not too harsh terms of captivity. Finally, his aunt Theodora Comnena, queen consort of Jerusalem, during an affair with the new Byzantine emperor Andronicus I Komnenos, convinced the emperor to contribute to his ransom. Constantine Macrodocus, a loyal supporter of the emperor and uncle of Isaac, and Andronicus Docus, a relative childhood friend, sodomite, and debaucher, both contributed to his ransom. These two relatives personally stood surety for the fealty of Isaac Comnenus to the Byzantine emperor. The Knights Templar, whom Nyctas Choniates labels the Freri, strangely enough contributed as well. From prison to Cyprus, the Armenians in 1185 released Isaac. Clearly tired of the imperial service, he used the rest of the money to hire a troop of mercenaries and sailed to Cyprus. He presented falsified imperial letters that ordered the local administration to obey him in everything and established himself as ruler of the island. Because Isaac Komnenos failed to return to imperial service, Byzantine Emperor Andronicus I Komnenos ordered Constantine Macrodocus and Andronicus Docus arrested for treason. Although Constantine theretofore loyally supported the emperor, the courtier Stephen Higher Christophorites conducted a water oracle that gave the letter R as the initial of the succeeding emperor. So Byzantine Emperor Andronicus I feared an attempt of Isaac to usurp the throne. When court officials led the prisoners from prison to face the charges, Higher Christophorites started to stone them and forced others to join him. Stones impaled both prisoners at the front of the palace of Mingana on the 30th of May 1185. Another oracle gave the date of the start of the rule of the next Byzantine emperor, a time much too near then for Isaac to make the crossing from Cyprus, which greatly relieved Byzantine Emperor Andronicus I. Meanwhile, Isaac took many other Romans into his service. He created an independent Patriarch of Cyprus who crowned him as emperor in 1185. After a popular uprising at Constantinople led to the death of the Byzantine emperor on the 12th of September 1185, Isaac II Angelos succeeded to the Byzantine throne. He raised a fleet of 70 ships to take back Cyprus. The fleet was under the command of John Stephanes and Alexios Komnenos, a nephew once removed of the emperor. Andronicus I Komnenos ordered Alexios blinded. Neither he nor quite old John seemingly fit the role particularly well. The fleet landed in Cyprus, but after the troops left the ships, Margaritis of Brindisi, a pirate in the service of King William II of Sicily the Good, captured the ships. Isaac, or more likely Margaritis, won a victory over the Byzantine troops and captured the captains, whom he took to Sicily, while the rest of the sailors on Cyprus tried their best to survive and to fend off the enemy. Only much later did they return home, if they had not perished altogether. Rule of Cyprus. For the time of his coronation, Isaac quickly started to plunder Cyprus, raping women, defiling virgins, imposing overly cruel punishments for crimes, and stealing the possessions of the citizens. Cypriots of high esteem, comparable to Job in riches, now were seen begging in the streets, naked and hungry, if they were not put to the sword by this irascible tyrant. Furthermore, he despicably ordered the foot of Basil Pantakanos, his old teacher, hacked and amputated. Nyctas Choniates, clearly not very partial to Isaac, describes him as an irascible and violent man, boiling with anger like a kettle on the fire. Byzantine Emperor Andronicus I Komnenos nevertheless bore responsibility for greater cruelties. A seemingly league with William II of Sicily, a powerful thorn in the side of the Byzantine Empire, helped Isaac to hold the island for the duration of his reign, and he also closely connected to Saladin, Sultan of Egypt and Syria. Third Crusade. King Richard the Lionheart and others embarked on the Third Crusade in 1189. Early in 1191, Berengaria of Navarre and Joan of England, the fiancée and sister of King Richard, travelled together and were shipwrecked on Cyprus. Isaac Comnenus then took them captive. In retaliation, King Richard conquered the island while on his way to Tyre, Lebanon. The English took Isaac prisoner near Cape Apostolos Andreas on the Karpas Peninsula, the northernmost tip of the island. According to tradition, Richard promised Isaac not to put him into irons and so kept him prisoner in chains of silver. The English transferred Isaac to the Knights Hospitaller, who kept him imprisoned in Margid near Tripoli, Lebanon. Imprisonment, ransom and death. For the Third Crusade, King Richard returned to Europe, but Leopold V, Duke of Austria and Styria, and Henry VI, Holy Roman Emperor, imprisoned the King of England. A ransom agreement for King Richard freed Isaac and his daughter into the care of Duke Leopold, the son of Theodora Comnena, Queen Consort of Jerusalem and aunt of Isaac. Isaac then travelled to the Sultanate of Rum, where he attempted to gain support against the new Byzantine Emperor Alexios III Angelos, crowned in 1195. However, the ambitions of Isaac came to nothing, as he died of poisoning in 1195 or 1196. His daughter, the source seemingly record not the name of the daughter of Isaac but usually call her the Damsel of Cyprus, upon the deposition of her father, Isaac, she joined court of King Richard the Lionheart. She was considered very beautiful and cunning. After the Third Crusade, she travelled on the seas to the Kingdom of England with the other ladies of his court, including Joan of England, Queen of Sicily, until the death of William II and sister of King Richard, and Berengaria of Navarre, then Queen Consort of England. In 1194, as part of ransom agreement of King Richard, the English released the Cypriot princess into the care of Leopold of Austria, a distant relative. Later Later she lived in Provence, where in 1199 she encountered Raymond Viscount of Toulouse and again Queen Joanna of Sicily, then Countess Consort of Toulouse, as wife of Raymond and pregnant with the future Raymond VII, Count of Toulouse. The couple split suddenly, and Raymond began a relationship, possibly dignified as a marriage, with this daughter of Isaac Komnenos of Cyprus. This affair ended about 1202, when she married Thierry, an illegitimate son of the later Baldwin of Constantinople, then Count of Flanders. Thierry and his wife sailed from Marseille in 1204 with a convoy of warriors who intended to join the Fourth Crusade, but this party turned not aside against Constantinople. On reaching Cyprus, they attempted to claim the island as inheritors of Isaac. Their attempt failed, and they fled to Armenia. Bibliography. Boyle, David. The Troubadour's Song, The Capture and Ransom of Richard I. Walker Publishing Company, 2005. Brundage, J. A. Richard the Lionheart and Byzantium, Studies in Medieval Culture 6-7, 63-70 and reprinted in J. A. Brundage, The Crusades, Holy War and Canon Law, Variorum, 1991, No. IV. Curious, Nicholas. To what extent was the Crusaders' capture of Cyprus impelled by strategic considerations? Epiteries 197-202. Edbury, P. W. The Kingdom of Cyprus and the Crusades, 1191-1374, Cambridge University Press, 1991. Harris, Jonathan, Byzantium and the Crusades, Bloomsbury, 2nd ed. 2014. ISBN 978-1-78093-767-0. Harris, Jonathan. Collusion with the Infidel as a Pretext for Military Action Against Byzantium, in Clash of Cultures, The Languages of Love and Hate, ed. S. Lambert and H. Nicholson, Brepols, 2012, pp. 99-117. The Oxford Dictionary of Byzantium, Oxford University Press, 1991. Rudder Collenberg, W.